Hello and welcome to the Moocast, the official podcast where we talk about things that we like. Today I am joined by Frorg and we are going to discuss our top favorite anime.
Hello, it's Frorg.
Hi.
I have been in an L shape for a couple of hours. So.
L shape doing what?
Reading a webtoon. It's this new one.
Right.
This new one I discovered.
Uh-huh.
Not discovered. It was complete for a while. It's called Refund High School. It's pretty interesting.
Refund High School? So
yeah,
it's like if you're not satisfied with your experience with high school, you just want to, give a refund, get back your time that you've given the government, that kind of stuff. Refund.
No, more like if you died before you finished high school or something, they let you go into high school for 3 years in the afterlife, and then depending on how well you do, you can get reincarnated.
That sounds great.
Yeah,
but
does.
For some people, I feel like going back to high school might be hell in its own right.
Well, they haven't finished high school, so
right. But then now they have to do it fully again with other degenerates who may have lost their life during high school. Can you imagine going through your entire high school career, but with all the klutzy people who happen to die in accidents or something?
Well, first of all, I would be one of those klutzy people, and second of all, this sounds like an isekai.
Ah, yes. Which I happen to love. In fact, 2 of my top 5 happen to be isekais. And you know what? It was actually really hard just coming up with my top 5 favorite anime because I have so many. And a majority are isekais. Now, for those of you who aren't familiar with the term isekai, means when you are reincarnated into another world.
Contrarily to you, though, none of the anime on my top 5 are isekais.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, right. I think you're more into, the sad, dark ones, right?
Yeah, I like to cry.
Oh, my. Why don't we start off with that? What's the first anime on your list? In no particular order.
In no particular order. Alright. Well, if we go with the crying theme, my favorite anime, since I watched it for the second time, not the first time apparently, only the second time, it's Anohana. So,
yes.
The whole name, it's one of those anime that have a really long name, and this one is called Anohi Mita Hana no Namae wa Boku Tachi wa Mida Shiranai, which is, in English, the flower we saw that day, or we still don't know the name of the flower we saw that day. I don't know, it has alternate titles. Yeah, it's very long.
And the series is only 10 episodes long?
It's 11 episodes, 11. I think. Yeah.
By the time you finish saying that name, you'd probably be done the series. I know you in particular really enjoy this anime. You got me to watch it recently. But why don't we start off with why you like it so much?
Well, you know those feel-good animes, and then you watch it and you feel so good? This is not one of them. This is a genre. It's catharsis. When you watch something to cry, the process of releasing and thereby
I know what catharsis
providing
means.
relief from strong or refreshed emotions.
Let's just let our viewers Google that.
6 main characters, and each of them have such a complex and rich backstory. You either hate them or you love them, and even if you hate them, they kind of redeem themselves a little bit at the end. Not really, but at least you can feel bad for him. And okay, I cry a lot.
I can tell.
I cried in Finding Nemo. So, the depth of emotions that this anime can make you feel.
Specifically catharsis?
Yeah. No, but the depth of emotion, in episode 8, that was when I first started crying, and I didn't stop crying, apparently. So,
yes. Yo,
spoiler
I think
alert.
that's about where I was crying too.
Yeah, spoiler alert, first of all, if you haven't watched the anime and you want to, go do it now. But, it's I cried at the part where Jinta first cries. It's the first instance that he cries in the anime.
Yes.
And then, he kind of, plays it off. Basically, he's sad that Menma is gonna leave. Yeah. But he starts to cry. And then Menma, realizing that that's her wish, is also crying, but not bawling. And then she smiles. That depth of her realizing, okay, her time is almost up here. These are her last moments with the people that she loves.
Right.
And her friends, but also, just happy that she can fulfill Jinta's mother's wish, and also happy that he can learn to express his emotions like this. I think that's just only, like, the surface of all the great emotional... the things that this anime makes you feel. Yeah, it's just, this anime is so good, and I can't even... If you haven't watched it, watch it. If you haven't watched it, you shouldn't be listening to this either.
For those of you who haven't watched it, I could give a brief synopsis, and correct me if I'm mistaken. Basically, it's a group of 6 friends 10 years later after the death of one of these friends, and Menma is like haunting this guy called Jintan. Yeah. And she's still stuck here on Earth because she needs to get her wish granted to go to heaven, but she doesn't know what her wish is. So you follow like this group of friends. They've obviously all been affected by her death and have lost touch with each other. But the reappearance of Menma kind of brings the group back together for like a common goal, but they spend like the whole 10 or 11 episodes trying to get her back to heaven.
And then through that process, they kind of come back together and become friends again once, like, since they've separated.
So what would you think is your least favorite part of this anime?
My least favorite part of the anime is also a very crucial part of the anime. And it's not a part, it's more like a character. And his name is Yukiyatsu.
Oh my God.
That guy is extremely messed up. And for good reason. Well, not for good reason. I mean, it's part of his trauma after her death. You know, it's just, this guy is messed up on so many levels.
Uh-huh.
And,
you know what, we already gave a spoiler alert. You can go ahead and say why. I think we're both thinking it.
He runs around at night, pretending to be Menma. Sorry, the girl who died. He pretends to be the girl who died because he's in love with her. He cross-dresses. And during the day, it manifests itself, well, he's a jerk-ass.
Yeah, right.
And,
that's an understatement.
Yeah. Yeah, basically.
He is the darkest part of the ass.
Yeah, basically. And I think just even this is a good part of the anime because it really shows how death can affect people. Not necessarily younger kids, but like just people that were around you. You don't expect every person around you to dress up like you and run around a forest at night where you died. But like at the same time, it's like the severe and psychological impact that a death can cause on a person can be this deep and affect them so much in their lives.
You know, you said he runs around dressing up as Menma, but I think he only actually went out in public once dressed up like that, just to mess with Shintan and the others. Because the rest of the time, he just kind of dresses up at home and then smells the wig, as disturbing as that sounds.
I'm not sure that's any less disturbing than him running around at night,
Well, if he's running around, that means he's... that means he's okay with it. And he kind of wants people to think... I don't know, man. It's just...
Well, the fact that he even tried to do that to mess with the rest of the group is kind of, you know...
Yeah. So this was an anime that you really insisted on me watching, and I did cry at episode 8.
Good.
But also at the last episode where everyone's kind of like wishing her goodbye, and I was like, oh, my heart.
Okay, I think if you didn't cry at that moment, then you're not actually human.
Yes. Truthfully, I felt like the whole series was very dragged on. I get the whole character development, but I feel like a lot of it was kind of filler. Like, they could have taken the first 1 or 2 episodes and the last 3 episodes, and it would have been done. Like, I understand they had to go into, like, the backstories and, like, the lives of all the other characters, but at the same time, it got really boring at some point. Like, I really did not care about Yuki and Tsuruko. No, Tsuruko is the one with the pigtails. I mean the black-haired girl with the glasses.
No, the black-haired girl with glasses is called
really?
Tsuruko. Yeah, the girl with the pigtails is Anaru.
Yeah.
Anaru is your favorite character. How can you forget her name?
Anaru and Popo are my favorite characters. Popo is just so cool, man. Like, the man's a teenager and he's already traveled all over the world. He's homeless technically because when he comes back, he lives in their secret base. But he seems okay.
Yeah, you kind of wonder what happened to his parents.
Yeah, actually, yeah. And speaking of which, that secret base is not safe at all. It doesn't have a door. They're sleeping out in the middle of nowhere. And then, you know, with Popo alone, I think he's cool. He can handle himself. But Anaru looks like someone who is very high maintenance. So how was she able to survive out there, you know?
Yeah, but you know, like, the rules of, like, normal people life, like eating and sleeping and showering and pooping don't actually exist in anime?
What I did enjoy about this was how in-depth they went with all the backstories and how they ended up coming together at the end. Man, it sounds like I really didn't like the anime, but what I didn't like was why is everyone so into Menma? Like, you have the two girls in the group who are basically in their own separate love triangles. Or is it like a love rectangle at some point? Like, Anoru likes Jintan, Jintan likes Menma, Menma likes everyone because she's so... and then...
No, she liked Jintan.
Oh, yeah, right. That we see at the end. And then there's Yuki that likes Anoru, and then Suruko that likes Yuki, and then... Who likes Suruko? No one. Right? And then it's like, why is...
Yeah, no one likes Suruko, and no one likes Popo. And no one likes Anoru.
Yuki liked Anoru, but only as like a...
No, Yuki liked Menma, and Anoru was his second option.
Yeah, that's awful, man.
Yep. Hey, as we've already established, Yuki's a jerk.
What I really admired was when Jintan was like, up all these extra jobs just to help Menma move on. It was like, when I was in high school, I wish I had that kind of energy. Like, the man was working like 2 part-time jobs, and then maybe sometimes going to school, but he started skipping out of school.
He wasn't going to school, though.
He was when he got a part-time job with Anoru at the video game store.
He went for like 2 days. I think he did do those jobs because that was basically his life. He didn't have anything else to do. And, like, he kind of dedicated that time to making Menma's wish come true.
Do you think he kept those jobs after Menma moved on?
Of course not.
I think it would have been nice if he kept at least the game store job, and then he can go and date, like, Anoru, right?
Well, he went back to school.
Yeah, he can still have a part-time job.
Yeah, I know, but, like, he did go back to school, so he wouldn't have kept both.
Why do they have to spend so much money on fireworks?
Because they're high schoolers.
And?
They don't... That was the quote they got.
They said you needed someone with a license and who's over 18. But is that a guy who is, I think, Yuki's dad's friend? No, it was Menma's dad's friend. Menma's mom's friend? Whatever. Menma's parents' friend. Like, you would think he wouldn't charge them an arm and a leg just to launch some fireworks for these kids, right?
Well, he has... The other option was just not doing it at all. I think... Well, it's fair.
I was just thinking, like, you don't have fireworks all year long, right? This is probably just some side money, but if you're just doing a favor for, like, these kids who's a friend of your friend, would you really feel good if you, like, overcharge them? Like, Jintan had to, like, work his butt off, and not just him.
I don't think he was overcharging them. Did you see the thing that they made?
Oh, yeah.
They even made, like, a whole structure for it to launch it from.
Okay, you got me there. But then if you think about it, like, the structure... Well, it just seemed like loose plywood put together, or like a little bit of logs.
Yeah,
for like one tiny firework. Like, you would think he would sit there and help them set up at least 3 or something, right? But I don't know what the culture is like in Japan when they fire out fireworks.
Yeah, we don't know the culture. We don't know how much it costs.
Like, us here, we have to pay like $30 just to have this room for an hour to throw an axe at a wooden target. Like, I think I get it.
Yeah.
So I think that's enough. Anohana. Oh, yeah. Actually, no. Would you recommend that anime to a beginner who's just starting out?
I don't think so.
I think this is a very niche anime.
Okay, yeah, if this was someone's first anime they ever would watch, no. Maybe I'm just not aware of a lot of the crying anime out there, like the Catharsis anime. But this one is very mentioned alongside Shigatsu.
Yes.
I would actually say that Shigatsu is wildly more popular than Anohana, and I don't know why. I don't know why. I like Anohana more.
Shigatsu is Your Lie in April, right?
Yes.
Alright, so since we're talking about that, we might as well continue this. Your Lie in April is by far my most favorite touchy-feely kind of anime. And
oh, actually?
Yeah, by far. My god, there's so many layers to it. So Your Lie in April is about this kid. He's a piano prodigy. Again, he's in high school. At some point, his mother dies, and then every time he joins like piano competitions or even plays the piano, he ends up going rhythm deaf, where basically he can't hear the piano keys anymore. That's how traumatized he was by his mother's death. So then it follows him and this girl called, I forgot her name. Kaori. She bursts into his life one day. She ends up breaking him out of his shell, trying to force him back into playing the piano. Originally had such a passion for the piano, and then ends up getting a lot of stress from his mother to try to be absolutely perfect. So at first, you kind of relate if you have strict parents that want you to do all these extracurricular activities or whatever, and maybe take it too seriously. On the one side, you kind of feel bad for him, kind of hate his mom too for like making this art so unenjoyable. But then later you end up finding out that the mom actually had her own reasons for teaching him because she knew she was gonna die, and that would leave him alone because his dad's always away on business, which is a common trend in most anime now that I think about it. like where's Ash's dad? Anyway. So she just wanted him to be able to take care of himself, right? So I guess she was hoping that he would be able to make enough money, a living off of playing the piano. And then you just start to kind of feel, and it's like, oh yeah, I can kind of see why she was so strict, because she didn't have that much time left. She wanted to give him everything she knew, right? And then at the end, big spoiler, if you have not watched the anime, just, skip this whole section, all right? Here it comes. Okay, so Kari dies. After he,
spoiler alert, Kari
after
dies.
He finally gets the courage to get up on stage again for the sake of his friend, she has like a seizure and she dies. So just before she dies, though, she can still feel or hear. I don't remember if someone had the call, but she was listening, I think, to the last concert. But he plays so well, it brings everyone to tears. My God, it brought me to tears because of the emotions, the thoughts that were going through his mind. Like, he was like, I hope you hear this. I hope my music reached you. You're the reason why I'm able to play again, why I can hear the notes. It's so moving. Like, I think it's like that when you watch anyone who's passionate about their hobby or craft, when you see them in the zone, performing or doing their thing, because I feel like that's what really gives life color. If you have a certain passion for something, that's what gives you a reason to live. I think that's something that everyone wants, and that's why I loved it so much. Although the big issue with the anime that I really did not like, most animes or most movies or shows, you wait to see for that one moment where someone mentions the name of the movie or show inside the actual movie or show. And then, so they do this all the way at the end. You're Lie in April. And I thought it was going to be like a big lie, like Kari is his sister or something like that. And then it turns out the lie was that Kari was not actually in love with Watari. She was actually in love with Kosei.
I don't think that was the lie.
That was literally the summary at the end.
I feel like the lie was that she was gonna be okay.
Oh. No.
That was the lie to me, bro.
I think the last episode, she had a note for Kosei saying that the lie in April was that she liked Watari, but she really didn't. And it was kind of clear throughout...
Okay, but that was last year's April. I think, throughout the whole thing, it kind of becomes more and more obvious that Kari didn't really care about Watari.
That's why I didn't like it. That's why I didn't like it. Because it was like, your lie in April, I thought it was a big secret, but it was pretty clear she wasn't into Watari to begin with. In fact, Watari didn't even seem like she was into her either.
I don't think that was the lie, though. I don't think that was the lie that she was telling. Maybe that was the surface lie, but the actual lie was that she was gonna die. I'm sure that was a lie, but I don't think that was the biggest secret she was keeping. Times. She did, but I think the secret, the lie that the anime is named after is her death.
Kari claiming that at the beginning to like Watari when in fact she was in love with Kosei, and her promise, let's play again. Oh, okay, so it's two lies. Let's play again together when in actuality she knew she would die before she got a chance. Okay, all right.
Exactly.
But the main lie that she ended up narrating at their last note was that she loved Watari.
That's not the main lie. I would argue that that's not the biggest lie she told, and that's not the lie that, is the most important. Because whether or not she loves Watari or not, it doesn't matter.
No.
The only time she shows interest in him is, the first, second episode or something. Where, they go out on the quote-unquote blind date or whatever. But she's never really shown an interest in him. It was all to, be with...
Absolutely. No, I agree completely. But at the same time, that first lie, she even says that the reason that she did it in the first place was because she was too nervous to actually approach Kosei on her own. If she didn't make that first lie, she wouldn't have opened up the door to end up helping him through, this time.
But I don't think that specific lie is enough to name this whole anime after
of course,
them.
That's why you have a second lie.
I don't think... That's not the point of this anime. The point of this anime isn't that she lied about liking Watari. The point of this anime is that she lied about being okay.
Alright, fair enough. But I'm gonna have to agree with what I read and saw, in that both lies were central towards the naming of the anime. Alright, so that ends part 1 of the Moocast. Our show actually lasted about 2 hours, but animating just this small segment took a lot out of me. I'm literally on the floor, dying as I record this. So rejoice that I have decided to upload a video less than 40 minutes long. Hope you enjoyed it, and here comes the preview for the next episode.
my strength and my belief in you gives you strength.
Oh my god.
It's like believe in the me that believes in you.
No! They stab one, and then they stab two, and then their asthma attack is worse than Finn.